my gosh, give a round of applause to Tesla. These have to be some of the best earnings we have seen in many years for Tesla. And holy crap, Tesla just blew everyone away. Like, all the expectations proven dead wrong, which is just crazy. So let's get into some of these earnings, and here's the main metrics that Wall Street looks at. You have EPS that came in at 72 cents, non-GAAP. The estimate was 58 cents. EPS on a GAAP basis came in at 62 cents. Estimates for revenue were 25.4 billion. Tesla did come in low on that metric, coming in at 25.18 billion. But really, that's not that big of a deal when you look at this next metric. Tesla's total gross margin was 19.8%. That's incredible. Net income came in at 2.176 billion, which also beat most estimates. Tesla's cost of goods sold came in at $35,100, which is the lowest that metric has ever been at. Tesla also reports that owners have now driven over 2 billion miles on FSD, with more than 50% of that on V12. Tesla also increased AI training compute by over 75% in just Q3. That's insane. Tesla now has a record $33.6 billion in cash. Free cash flow was $2.7 billion in Q3, higher than expected. This is really the big part of Tesla earnings. This is the catalyst, the thing, if you will, that was going to dictate whether Tesla stock went higher or lower. And Tesla confirmed, in a good way, exactly what we were expecting here on this channel. It says Tesla says, quote, plans for new vehicles, including more affordable models, remain on track for the start of production in the first half of 2025. These vehicles will utilize aspects of the next generation platform as well as aspects of our current platforms and will be able to be produced on the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle lineup. This approach will result in achieving less cost reduction than previously expected, but enables us to prudently grow our vehicle volumes in a more CapEx efficient manner during uncertain times. This should help us fully utilize our current expected maximum capacity of close to 3 million vehicles, enabling more than 50% growth over 2023 production before investing in new manufacturing lines. So basically taking the utilization or taking the capacity they currently have and utilizing that to the maximum. That's what you would expect a good company would do. It would be like, let's say you built a factory and you are going to produce computers, right? And half of that factory is producing a gaming computer, and the other half has nothing working. It has production capabilities, but you're not operating that factory. It would be like then going and building a new factory to make perhaps desktop computers. What would be the point of that if you have half of an existing factory already available? So that's actually really good longer term over the next 4 to 8 quarters. That's going to prove to be really accretive to Tesla's bottom line. Tesla goes on to say that our purpose-built robotaxi product will continue to pursue a revolutionary unboxed manufacturing strategy, which is also expected to be very margin accretive. And what's also pretty crazy about this is Tesla's Cybertruck officially achieved a positive gross margin for the first time, according to Tesla, which really just means Tesla's now at least at a break even on Cybertrucks, which is something nobody was really expecting. Even like Gary Black expected that the Cybertruck was going to cost Tesla $20,000 per truck in essentially a loss. They're actually positive on that number. We don't exactly know by what, but they're positive. That's crazy. Tesla also says that they have deployed and are training ahead of schedule on 29,000 H100 cluster at Gigafactory, Texas, where we expect to have 50,000 H100s in capacity by the end of October. Tesla has also confirmed that their Cybercab will have a new powertrain with an estimated 5.5 miles per kilowatt hours. This will be our most efficient powertrain yet. You may have recalled Lucid CEO saying they are years ahead of Tesla because they achieve 5 miles per kilowatt hour. Tesla says, not so fast. We're going to achieve 5.5 miles per kilowatt hour. So this is actually a big deal. It's going to allow Tesla to get more miles out of the same or even smaller batteries, which will enable Tesla to have higher margins. And this was huge as well. Tesla suggests that they expect to deliver upwards of 515,000 vehicles in Q4, which would be a record high. Tesla says, despite ongoing macroeconomic conditions, we expect to achieve slight growth in vehicle deliveries in 2024. Energy storage deployments are expected to more than double year over year in 2024. Tesla also says the services and other business achieved a record gross profit in Q3, growing over 90% year over year. Sequential growth in gross profit was driven mostly by higher gross profit generation from supercharging, service center margin improvement, and higher gross profit generation from parts sales and merchandise. Our supercharger network continued to expand in Q3 with over 2,800 new stalls in the quarter, a 22% growth of the network year over year. Tesla also announced that Tesla's energy business achieved a record gross margin of 30.5% in Q3, a sequential increase of 596 basis points. That's 5.96% of an improvement in margins on a sequential basis. Despite lower Megapack volumes, Powerwall also achieved record deployments in Q3 for the second quarter in a row. And Tesla says, quote, the ramp of Powerwall 3 in the Lathrop Megapack factory continues successfully, with Lathrop demonstrating 200 Megapack production, 40 gigawatt hours annual run rate in a single week. As of Q3, over 100,000 Powerwalls were installed in virtual power plant programs, delivering additional financial value to owners while providing much needed support to the grid during periods of stress. The Shanghai Megapack factory remains on track to begin shipping Megapacks in Q1 2025. Stop it, Tesla. Stop it. Tesla stock is now up 9.5%. And honestly, again, as I said before, the thing that was going to determine whether or not Tesla stock went higher above everything else was, when are we going to get these newer, lower priced models? Are we still going to get them by the midpoint of 2025? If so, we're off to the races. Instead, we got every metric beating analyst estimates. Every metric, EPS, free cash flow, the amount of cash Tesla has, margins, everything beat estimates besides revenue. Revenue missed a little bit, but that's not what's important. What's important is margins, is profitability, because that affects valuations. People don't really look at price to sales the same way they do price to earnings. So believe it or not, after this earnings, Tesla just got a little bit cheaper or a little bit less expensive. And I think when you look ahead to the future, Tesla not only kind of raised guidance, even though they don't really give official guidance, they said, we're going to have a really good next quarter. I think that is also getting Tesla stock investors very excited. Now, Tesla will have their earnings call, and to be quite honest, I don't see anything on that earnings call that's going to derail this rally. Now, is there going to be volatility during that earnings call? Of course, yes. But we got everything we needed and wanted to hear, plus some, just from the earnings deck that Tesla released today at about 4:05 p.m. With that said, we will be going over Tesla's earnings call, the main highlights from that later on tonight. It will not be at 8 o'clock tonight. It will be closer to 10 o'clock, if not 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So subtract 3 hours from that. If you're on the West Coast, call it 7 to 8 p.m., maybe 8:30. That video will be coming out. And I'll also give you my projections on Where I think Tesla stock is going next following this quarter, how large of a rally we could potentially see, because honestly, I don't think Wall Street was expecting this. I think this really caught Wall Street by surprise. I mean, analysts had gross margin targets for Tesla in the 14% range. We came in at 19%. That's just mind-blowing. They all got it wrong. Markets sold off sharply today, and we have some bad news. Now, we will talk about this a little bit more in the next video, but I want to give you a bit of an update now. It is being reported from an Apple analyst that says Apple cut iPhone 16 orders by 10 million units. Most of the orders affect the iPhone 16 instead of the iPhone 16 Pro models, which have nicer displays and better cameras and have been more popular with consumers. As a result, iPhone 16 production for the second half of 2024 is now estimated at 84 million units, Kao said, noting that is down from about 88 million units initially estimated for production. Now, this is bad news for the Apple bulls, the bulls that think that Apple Intelligence is going to cause a refresh cycle for the Apple phones. And we'll talk about this more in the next video. We also had bad news for Nvidia. Jensen Huang said the company had resolved a design flaw that pushed back Blackwell production to the fourth quarter, Reuters reported. Now, we knew there was some issues going on with Blackwell, but this is actually causing a production delay, which can this affect Nvidia in the short term? Yes. Is this a big deal? Not really, but it's still pushing Nvidia's stock lower today, which is a problem for the broader markets. In other news today, Ford CEO Jim Farley says he's been driving a Xiaomi SU7 EV for the last 6 months in the United States. Ford flew one out from China so he could live with it every day. He said, "I don't want to give it up." Oh yeah, Apple also said they might entirely stop producing the Vision Pro by the end of 2024 just because demand has been really low. And I guess that's what happens when you sell a product that is that expensive. It's also being reported that Tesla will start selling its Powerwall home battery system in Japan through electronics store chain Yamada Denki. The operator of the chain has about 1,000 stores nationwide. Cruise, the autonomous vehicle AV subsidiary of GM, has reported a $435 million loss in Q3. This is a significant loss considering Cruise has been not running its robotaxi after the service was suspended in late 2023. And it's also confirmed that Tesla is in talks with the city of Palo Alto and lawmakers to potentially allow testing of their robotaxi on local roads. Greg attended Tesla's Cybercab unveiling on October 10th and called it very impressive. This is the guy that is actually, talking about this with city council. Elon Musk responds to this post and says, "Cool." Tesla also announced that they have broken ground on what will be the largest supercharger in the world, with 168 different supercharger stalls in Lost Hills, California. And here you could see another reiteration of that news. The city of Palo Alto is in discussions with Tesla to turn local streets into a testing ground for the company's newly unveiled Cybercab, according to Megan Horian-Taylor, the city's spokesperson. It's also being reported that Tesla's FSD supervised V12.5.6.1 has been released to some owners in the early access program. Tesla has secured a new $225 million Megapack contract in Puerto Rico to install 430 megawatt hours of battery energy storage system. Now, with all of that said, let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. What do you think about Tesla earnings and the numbers that we got reported? I would love your feedback on that down below in the comment section. Now, with that said, we will be going over Tesla's earnings call and all of the major highlights coming out later tonight. It will be around 10-11 p.m. or so. We will give you that update. I want to give analysts time to give their commentary. Want to give time for some of this to digest as well. But really, I want to hear from analysts how they raise or lower some of their estimates in different areas for Tesla. Now, as you guys also do know, 10-year treasury yields went higher yet again today, and they've basically come unhinged, and that's going to be an even larger problem for Tesla in Q4 and potentially in 2025. So that's also going to be something to watch out for. With that said, again, let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.